have to wonder, who is behind these pillars? Is it just the UN? Is it merely an act of remembering an ancient and historical site? Is it a gesture of defiance against ISIS, who allegedly blew up the temple to Baal in Syria, leaving only the archway left? Now they are reconstructing the 2 pillars. In this video, I present some unusual facts about the Baal archways and their connection to Freemasonry. The archway to Baal is symbolic of what they have achieved this year, the year of light, the Freemasonic Annuncius. The archway serves as a symbol of the abomination they have raised before the Most High God. Fact number 1. The Temple to Baal archways will be set up in 1,000 locations, yes. But what you may not know is that that's very intentional. In the book of Revelation, we see that the Son of Man, Jesus, will rule for 1,000 years. What you don't know is that the Luciferians also maintain a prophecy. They believe that once they gain control of the Vatican, they will have power for 1,000 years.
Amongst Luciferian organizations, there is a prophecy that if they can invade the citadel, and that's their name for the Vatican, they will have power for 1,000 years.
How close are they?
Very close.
A Roman Catholic named Malachi Martin warned us that the Luciferians had infiltrated the Vatican back in the 1950s and 60s. This was a part of a Masonic master plan that was outlined in a document called the Alta Vendita. Remember, Freemasonry has designated a specific year for the coming of the capstone, and that year is known as the Annuncius, the Year of Light. George H.W. Bush gave an Illuminati speech back in 1991 where he spoke about 1,000 points of light forming all over the world and coming together as one.
I've spoken of 1,000 points of light, of all the community organizations that are spread like stars throughout the nation doing good. We will work hand in hand, encouraging, sometimes leading, sometimes being led, rewarding. We will work on this in the White House, in the cabinet agencies. I will go to the people and the programs that are the brighter points of light, and I'll ask every member of my government to become involved.
There is an Illuminati card in the card deck for the 1,000 points of light. And now we are seeing the construction of 1,000 archways to Baal in the Year of Light. You can see in the Illuminati card a construction man is pictured shaking hands with an elitist. This construction man has an American flag on his hat and a phoenix on his arm with a pyramid. Number 2, the Temple to Baal archways have many, many similarities to the Temple of Solomon found in Scripture. Both temples have 2 pillars that form a gateway or entry into the temple, and they both have an inner sanctuary. Based on the Bible, Solomon's temple was required to have 2 pillars named Boaz and Yashin or Jachin that would form a gateway as one entered and walked into the inner sanctuary. What's interesting is that some sources, including Josephus in his book Antiquity of the Jews, documents that King Solomon, who built the first temple of Yahweh, also built the ancient city of Palmyra. Palmyra is the location of this temple of Baal that was destroyed. While Solomon did not build the temple to Baal in Palmyra, it is interesting that he was the original founder of the city. Freemasonry reveres Palmyra because it was built by Solomon and their legendary character, Hiram Abiff, who was the chief architect behind the first temple. In fact, Palmyra is one of the most important historic cities in Freemasonry, along with Baalbek and Jerusalem. An encyclopedia written by 33rd degree Grand Master Albert Mackey exposes the unusual similarities between the Temple of Solomon and that of the Temple of Baal, including that the two pillars in Solomon's temple were both 50 feet tall, that of Boaz and Jachin. As you know, the 1,000 replicas of the archway to Baal will also be approximately 50 feet tall. As side note, and a very interesting fact is that these archways are being constructed by a 3D printing company, and they are being built entirely by machines, by robots. A third fact to consider is that worship of Baal was originated at the Tower of Babel by none other than Nimrod himself. One legend has it that the giant hybrid creature Nimrod became Baal after he died, and generations of Semites continued to worship him in place of where they should have worshipped Yahweh. Freemasonry honors Nimrod as the first builder, the original Mason. A fourth fact to consider is that the archways in New York City and London will be erected on the first day of a pagan holiday, a 13-day long period in which child blood sacrifices are offered to the god Baal. It's on this day that several high-profile false flag events have happened, including Oklahoma City bombing and Waco, Texas. If you don't recall, Newsweek posted the most remembered, most memorialized photograph when it put on the cover a picture of a bloodied child killed on April 19th, 1995, the first day of the pagan holiday offering a blood child sacrifice to Baal. I believe there is a cabal fundamentally opposed to Jesus Christ who is erecting 1,000 pillars in this year, the year of light.